Let me hear you say, yeah. Hey. Say, it's Omar Frantz and we go far. But everybody know we doing good so far. It's like, I'm a villain like Jafar. I don't know. Oh, shoot, spitting bars with no bars. Couldn't get inside wet bandits with a crowbar. Ooh. I'ma spit it. Gonna get with it. Short cats like you lick it. Oh. But not from Star Wars. I do Star Tours. Y'all Star whores. Oh, I'm just playing what I'm saying. Super Saiyan when I got these fats like dreadlocks, they spraying. Yo, he's on fuego. He's on fuego. Now everybody from the 313, throw your hands up. Let me stop. What's going on? Y'all already know what it is. It's blur time, baby. Time for nerd church as we do as usual on the weekly basis. Hallelujah. What's going on? And yes, there's a wet season upon us with the new Ariel. Yes, the new Ariel is in the building. What's going on, everybody? If you're not happy about the black Ariel, kill yourself. I said it, and I'm not gonna say my bad. I will not even play it. I'm just playing. Please don't kill yourself. I'm just playing. Suicide's on the rise, so please, we don't want any problems. But at the same time, why be against something that's make-believe like that in the first place? I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you already know what it is. You know, we ain't gonna sit and have this debate, but that's for another day. Hey, we have much to discuss. What's going on, y'all? I am your boy, the real Vince Taylor, and there are some headlines running amok. First of all, we must discuss what happened with your boy, Chris Pratt. Is he out here sneak dissing on Mother's Day, or is he doing whatever he can? Also, lovebirds are in the midst, or are they? I don't know. Let's see what's going on. My man wants to talk about thick racing. We must discuss. We've got some special guests in the building that are also going to talk to us about their experiences with the actual Halle Bailey, who is Little Mermaid, and some of our favorite X-Men been going on dates as of late, but we're going to talk all about that as we get on. For right now, let's at least get a proper introduction. If you don't mind doing us a favor, Yvette, and bringing us on in.
I love the new blurred order. You should too.
Let me get all this 10p Wayne. All the niggas rapping about the same old thing. I've been coming through with the same old gang. Ain't shit changed except 9 got a name. Got it out the mud but we got no stains. Cold ass lizard with a gold ass chain. The girl call me daddy, not my government name. Money on my mind, got them bands on my brain. Let me tell y'all about a nigga I know. The nigga stay clean so he always got hoes. Light skinny bitches like.
Yeah, wake up everybody, no more sleeping in bed. Everybody do your taxes or they coming to get you, the feds. And me, my man, and Omar, Ty, and Tyleem, as we here, gonna talk about this black mermaid who we is here to cheer. Bop, 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 bop. All right, enough messing up people's songs. What's going on, y'all? I am your boy, the real Vince Taylor, obviously reporting live. Oh, hold up, my bad. Reporting live. Okay, well, stop pushing the buttons, yo. All right, reporting live from an X-Wing. Hallelujah. What's going on, y'all? Welcome to everybody who's following, watching on all of the sites, the YouTubes, the Twitches, the Twitters, even the Twitches. I said that already. The Facebooks as well. And please make sure y'all tune in, tell a friend, and comment, like, share, and all of that. We also are joined by none other than the one and only Nale. What's going on, Nale? Yes. We also have Good Ty in the building. What's going on, Good Ty? We also have Bad Ty. Whoa. The Brick City bully from New Jersey. Always repping New York. You know how we do, because that's what New Jersey cats do. They rep New York real hard. Let me stop. And we couldn't stop there. We still got some other guests as well. This gentleman, you all know, he's been here before. Crowned and king, the overlord of the Black Nerd Problems. You already know who he is. Give it up for the one and only Omar. Oh, man, what's going on, Omar? Oh, he brought the guns. Yo, he's got guns, y'all. Watch out. All right, Omar's in the building. And we also have not other than a new friend that we get the chance to make acquaintance with. This gentleman right here got bars himself, none other than the one and only Frantz Jerome, weighing in at 180 pounds and 35 dreadlocks. Go ahead. Let me stop. What's going on, fam? Yo, it's the family in the house today. First of all, let me apologize for anything I said that's offensive and anything I'm going to say, because I probably will say things wrong. This is the moral leader of our crew, homeboy. And we here, we say shit off the rails. We're expecting maybe a couple other folks, but for right now, it is what it is. I just want to say, what's going on, Omar? What's going on, Frantz? What's up, y'all?
Happy to be here. Thank y'all for having us.
Man,
Word.
thank you.
Super hype.
Just want to say this out right real quick. All these up northerners is taking over today, I mean. Like, I'm the only one here south of the Mason-Dixon line. At least me and Nolly is for right now. But Nolly got them up north.
Physically, but emotionally, my heart lies in Brooklyn.
Nolly she's reporting live from a bodega somewhere in the side of the galaxy where Star Wars.
It's got a cat and everything.
She got the cat, so that's what that is. But yeah, Omar. Now, Ty, if I'm not mistaken, you said that New Yorkers ain't even gonna be a thing no more because they sinking into the ocean, right?
Apparently 2 millimeters every year. I think that's what it is. I mean, that might not seem like much, I guess, until you got water around your sneakers or better yet, your Timbs. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, but I think anytime you see the news, like an article, for me, I think it's more, it resonates more because it's like, we're putting it out there for y'all, but most of y'all gonna ignore it anyway. But it's like, that's what it tells me. It's like, this is a thing. It's a thing now. It's a real thing. So,
Omar, are you afraid of moving New York from the island of New York into the Atlantic Ocean? I mean, no big deal, right?
It's not. Actually, and that bad time mentioned that I did a quick look up on that, and I was like, oh, the main reason for why it's happening is the weight of the rent is actually what's pushing it down. So maybe if we, get some affordable housing, it might, just make things a little bit lighter. You know what I'm saying? That's just a thought.
In other words, the rent is too damn high, and it's got a whole day after tomorrow. Where's Jake Gyllenhaal when you need him? Goddamn, he's got Franz. What you think, man? You think the ocean is actually starting to take over New York, man? He's going past Ellis Island and going all the way into 34th Street over to St. Nicholas and Malcolm X.
Bruh, I'm in the Bronx. The Bronx is unfazed. Unfazed by any of it. Nobody comes uptown. Nobody comes up here. Y'all can stay down there. It's water reclaim.
Chill out. We'll listen. I hope that y'all stay around. At least,
by the way,
because I already got my tickets for this year, you know what I'm saying? So we'll see how that goes. But for right now, we at least want you to stay around until some of these new movies come in and some of these new projects. Now, we're coming off of a high, all right, off these last couple of weeks, because frankly, if I'm going to keep it real, Marvel, in my opinion, especially when Omar gave us his major prediction, which, if I may say, excuse me, kids, pardon the language, but fucked my head up, because he came in here to talk about goddamn
Scott Lang
man should die.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And Scott Lang should not have been granted any existence beyond the quantum realm. And that got into our head, my head specifically, to the point where when I watched the movie and it didn't happen, I was disappointed. And I don't think I'm the only one on the panel when that happened to. I don't know if that's how it's supposed to be, but it did happen. It didn't go well. How did y'all feel? If I could, we haven't spoken with Omar and Frantz since this movie came on. Before we talk about Guardians of the Galaxy, I mean, what was y'all feelings about how they did the Ant-Man 3 movie? Omar, you first, man. You actually saw it. What's your thoughts of Ant-Man 3?
I was just talking about it with Will. He's our editor-in-chief. He was watching it right now, and he's like, "Man, this shit." He's like, "It's not bad. This shit is mid, man." And I'm like, "I'll tell you what would have made it better. I'll tell you what would have made it better." But it's like, it's the stakes thing, right? And also, I mean, the movie, it's probably the weakest of the three. I don't know if I'd watch it again. But I'm like, okay, all right, we're getting wacky. We got a little campy stuff. It's a whole new world. it's doing all right. It's doing all right. Oh, you got the daughter as an ant person now. Okay, all right. Now we got these ants and shit. Like, all right, you went really far in the wacky. So this is a good example of like how far in the wacky you can go. All right, Ant-Man, you went pretty far in the wacky. They did the same thing in Guardians of the Galaxy, but it's done a little better, which we'll discuss in a second. But like that final fight, right? Like Kang is like destroying everybody, which he's with his beams and whatnot, which he's not using anymore for some reason. We're like, okay, we throwing hands now. Scott's getting his ass beat. If anything, it should have been like, even if they just both disappeared somewhere to the Michaelverse or whatever, or he's just gone. Show me the weight of the situation. Show me like not every Avenger comes out this motherfucker unscathed, right? But like he got his after that ass beating. I'm like, yo, take me out too. I don't think I want to show my face anymore. You see how badly that man kicked my ass? Like, nah, like it's. But it's like, oh, they win in the end. It's like, well, if we're going to tell good elements of a story, somebody's got to lose, and it should kind of be the hero that has to lose. The hero has to lose at some point to have a better element of a story.
Yeah. I mean, Frantz, you feel the same, bro? Like, I mean, was it mid, as the kids say?
It was very mid, as the youth them say.
The youth them.
It was wild. It was wild, man. They did the most. They really try to make us care about this Cassie, even though it's the third actor to play the character. We have no ties to this person. What are we doing? If they'd have brought back the little girl from the first one, I'd have been hyped. Give me that action. But to Omar's point, Kang is hella OP. To have Scott die would kind of make up for the fact that they started this thing with Scott and not Hank to begin with.
Yeah,
because they already retconned the whole Hank created Ultron, but it's not in this universe. Like they did the most. It was already kind of built on it was like a House of Cards type thing. It was without enough Hank in there. You know who this Janet movie? How about that? Miss Pym, if you're nasty. It's Janet Van Dyne. This is Janet Van Dyne's movie.
It could have been.
She was out here catching bodies. She was soloing people.
She was.
I was like, but we don't have any attachment to her. And where the hell is Ghost?
Yes.
Filming Thunderbolt.
Well, yeah, I was about to say she's still locked up, right? Like, isn't she serving her sentence? Like, didn't they catch her? And now she's going to be one of the Thunderbolts, if I'm not mistaken. Her, Red Guardian, your boy from Captain America, Winter Soldier. Maybe Baron Zemo, who knows? The everlasting Harrison Ford in age 120 of his youth.
But that was part of the midness of it. Is so when everything Captain America is based on, he's touching it with mad people, touching it. That's the thing that made the MCU kind of dope. This one it tried to make its own universe without tapping in.
Yes.
I was like, it was not enough tapping. Could have been anything. Even to see a post credit of Ghost training with the Thunder, anything would have been. Give me more Julia Louis-Dreyfus, damn it.
You're into Julia. Okay, well, that's cool. I know somebody else that may have an opinion on this, because, Marvel obviously is owned by Disney. And who loves Disney more than somebody I know who may have recently, I don't know, maybe not, have attended some major event with a Disney character? Is that Tiffie, Star Child? Hey! You not ready? Oh, my bad.
Mid-hydration.
Can we hydrate and say hello? What's going on, Tiff?
I thought I had a moment. I did not.
What you thought this was? You just gonna pull up in here and ain't gonna speak? What's going on?
I wasn't gonna say anything, but I've been sitting in that waiting room for a while.
Oh, my bad. Oh, I just wanted to
but it's okay. I am the late one. It's okay.
Right,
I'm very, very late.
Right. Well, what's up, Tiff? Yo, how art thou? We already have given introductions to everybody, but we didn't have a chance to say how you're doing. So what's going on with you?
I'm great. I don't like when technology does not work for me, so I'm upset and on my iPod, and I don't know my angles here, and it's very uncomfortable.
What you mean? Come on, every angle.
My computer is starting to work. So Thor. Okay, speaking of Disneyland, they used to have like the meet and greet and wait on Avengers. Like before they had Avengers Campus over in California Adventure, they used to have like a Thor meet and greet. And I was with my ex-friend Lisa. We don't like Lisa no more because Lisa's a bitch. But anyway, right? For sure. Right. I don't give a fuck. But then, so we went to go see Thor, and I was like, oh man, to the cast member, not this random Lisa. being like 100%.
Lisa,
Co-sign that.
fuck you, Lisa. Hold up, was that Lisa right there?
No.
Hey, yo, fuck you, Lisa, with your 100% bullshit. God damn it. Who told you? I'm just playing. That's the wrong Lisa. Go ahead.
It's the wrong Lisa. But no. Like, can we
Come on, dude. Off the rails.
So then, like, you go to see Thor, and I was telling the cast member, "Oh, make sure you get my good angle." And then Thor was like, "They're all good angles, my friend." And I was like, "You can't do that because here on Midgard, that is a marriage proposal, and I will marry you, Thor, older than I will." So, good morning, everybody.
I mean, I don't know no bad angles. I mean, listen, especially Tiff, let's keep it real. You a star. Some would say you a star child. You know what I'm saying? And look, the way that you get down gets you into places. If I may, let's just look at Exhibit A. Here's Stiff Star Child. Stiff Star Child.
Now we're projecting.
Stiff Star Child. Yo, I'm going into way racism and all kind of stuff. But yeah, Tiff actually got the invite because I stalked her page a little something here and there, and we actually had an opportunity to see her watch the one and only Ariel do something magical at the Disneylands. And if it's cool, I just kind of want to share what we got to see with Tiff's experience, if you don't mind. What happened there, Tiff? What was it? Something like this?
Listen, I'm gonna love DC to the day.
Actually,
The way that is not me.
That is not it at all. And I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I think.
Audience, I hope everybody had a great time. Everybody, thank you so much for being here. You guys are right.
Fam, I'm not gonna hold you. I get to do some pretty cool things, but nothing tops this. It's 4:00 in the morning. I'm at Disneyland, and I just watched Halle Bailey perform Part of Your World 4 times in a row. What? Now, there's a lot about this experience that I can't actually show y'all, but I can tell you. I'll explain what I mean by that, but first let me tell you about the evening. We started off having a hosted dinner on the rooftop bar of the JW Marriott. We had this incredible sunset view over Anaheim. There's Disneyland in the distance, and my incredibly cute friends being incredibly dorky. Not me, though. I'm way too cool. That's a lie. I've never been cool a day in my life. And I was trying to get content of the hotel room, and then Lauren wanted to act like a hooligan. Look at her. We could kind of see the fireworks from a distance, but then we had to go to sleep because, y'all, our call time was 1:30 in the morning. We took a shuttle from the hotel over to the park, and this is when I had to put my phone away because they were very clear about when and where we could not film. But let me tell you, the vibes were immaculate. Disneyland, after hours, park empty. That's a different type of magic. They gave us tea and churros. I ain't complaining. And when Halle stepped out in that dress, baby, we were stunned. And like, I've been hyped for this movie, but this is when the impact really got me, y'all. Like, Halle Bailey is Ariel. Just listen to her.
Love to explore that shore above.
Not me fighting tears while editing this, but that was the incredible evening. That's all I have, y'all. Bye.
Tiff, you ran through that like a whole champ, man. But I feel like you didn't really have a chance to give us the real scoop, man. So can you give us maybe? Oh, is it?
You got the right camera.
Pull up, camera peel. I said it wasn't no bad angles. Look, you know what I'm saying? You know, so, Tiff, can you give us the real tea? Because there's only so much you can fit in a 90-second reel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Wait, hold on. Let me get my life together. So this has to stop. Hold on. Oh, my shit upside down. Okay, hold on. And then I'm gonna bring you back here. Why aren't you off? That's scary. Okay, it's off now. Sorry. Okay.
It's all good. That was a good angle too. So yeah, man. So I'm interested in, from the moment, I know you kind of gave us some of this at some point, but just for those who haven't seen or heard anything other than what you just revealed in the video, from the moment you knew you were going to actually going, and what you endured while you were there, who you was with, who you sitting by, you know what I'm saying, like what you saw, how late it was, what time you left, just the whole skinny, man. Just give us the notes.
Okay, cool. So Disney Music Group reached out to me. I didn't take my hair off my mirror.
You would never have known.
I
like my mirrors mature anyway. You know what I'm saying? That's what
That's my best friend.
Hey, Ebony.
So I got a message from someone with Disney Music Group, and they reached out to let me know, just to ask my availability and to ask if it was something. Did they let me know what it was at that time? I think that I did know at the time what the event would be. And so they asked if I was interested and if I had the availability, and I couldn't tell anyone about it or anything like that. And then because you have to be approved when you do things for Disney, and Disney, it's not like when you get invited to these events, it's not just like Disney is like one hive mind almost. I don't think I'm using the right word, but there are many different departments, and oftentimes it seems like they really do not speak to each other. So there's that. I can be approved for events in one area of Disney and then not approved in another area. And sometimes it's gotten back to me like, oh, I've been submitting your names for these different things and you're not being approved. Someone doesn't like your vibe. And I'm like, that's wild. My vibe is immaculate. But you really have no control over that. And it could be someone. One time there was a rumor that, because I used to work at Disneyland, there was a rumor that I had been fired. And there's a rule within these events with influencers and content creators that if you were ever fired from Disney, you also can't attend these type of events. I was never fired. I left on amazing terms. My boss begged me not to retire or to quit. So there's that. They could jot that down. So it really is just you are not in control of what happens at these events and if you're available, whatever. And that's when I had to reach out and be like, okay, Disney's looking at my page to approve. I got to take down that Aladdin post. Because yes, and that's why it's no longer on my page. It's still up for New Blurred Order, so it still exists, but I took myself off as a collaborator because out of context, don't you make that face. Out of context, it's super wild. And if you don't know me or my content, if you're just looking at it, it looks like I really hate Aladdin. It looks like I really just do not like Disney. But if you look at one of my most recent posts when they were like, how do you serve cunt in a Disney adult way? I went into the archives and one of those pictures is a headshot that I've used for a while. And it's me with all my Aladdin gear because that is one of my favorite Disney movies, but you don't know that looking at that one clip. So out of interest of just sanitizing it a little bit, which I don't like to do. That's why that post had to come down, but I got approved for it. So then we were given an email that had all the details about just what our check-in time was. And it involved going to an area called Team Disney Anaheim. And I feel like I can reveal that name because it's not a secret. It's basically where all the hiring and stuff takes place. It's behind Disneyland. You would not know really that it's connected to the building, but it's where the business takes place. It's where I first, it's where I've done any Disney audition that I've ever done. It's where I got hired. It's where you do your training, and it's connected directly to Disneyland. So they were very upfront with as a cast member, the rules were always very strict. You could not take pictures. You could not share just behind the scenes things about the location. It was just very not part of the magic of Disneyland. And so from this angle, they're telling us we're going to have to meet at this place at 1:30 for check-in. It's in bold italicized letters about not having cameras and things like that, with the exception of content creators, since we are there to help make content for it as well. We would be given specific times when we can have our phones off, because not everyone there was a content creator. So the day of, did I just go straight there? I think, no, I did something else in LA. I think I did an event at the Funko Pop store. And then, which is up in Hollywood. And that was pretty cool. And then down in Anaheim, I was going to go home to San Diego because I live in San Diego. Anaheim is maybe an hour and a half away. And so, but my friends are very adamant against me driving back and forth. One, because I have had crazy car trouble, just the worst of car luck or the best of car luck, because crazy shit has happened. And I'm still here for some reason. I've spun out on the freeway and narrowly missed a truck that was on the way up to the Frozen 2 premiere. Literally, all I can tell you, listen, I don't know if spirits and things like that exist. I will tell you that my wheel was whipping it just like Fast and Furious, but my hands were not on the wheel, and I spun and landed all the way in the little triangle where the on-ramp meets the freeway, and I landed there perfectly, and I missed a whole truck. It was very early in the morning, so there wasn't a lot of traffic. Yeah, like just crazy things. Or the most recent one, my car just died on the freeway for no reason whatsoever. And I just had to coast to a stop, but I had no brakes, no nothing. And that was on the freeway.
Whoa.
Sunset was in the distance. And in the back of my sick and twisted mind, I really was just like, wow, this is kind of fucking sick. And there was like an 80s guitar blaring in my ear. So there was that. Like, so just crazy things. So my friends don't like me driving back and forth. So I actually did not have access to stay at the JW Marriott. I didn't have it like that, I guess, but my friend Caprice did with my friend Lauren. And they were like, Tiffie, you ain't going home. And I'm just like, y'all have me for real. Like, I really appreciate y'all. And Caprice was like, let me tell you how else I have it. We have a hosted dinner up on the rooftop. That wasn't part of Disney at all. That's just my Caprice being like a G for some reason. So we had a hosted dinner up there. We went and took a nap, kind of like the video said, and then woke up. Went down and there was like everyone meeting in the hotel lobby. And my thing is like, I'm not supposed to be at the hotel. There were a lot of people that had the hotel access. And I'm like, now why didn't I get the hotel access? Is it because I don't post Disney? So I'm looking to see who has it. And I'm thinking, man, I'm not supposed to be here. I am invited, but they're invited through a different Disney group. So they have different things. Mine was just supposed to be show up at the place at 1:30 a.m. Am I talking too much?
Well, no, but I do have a question.
Okay.
Are these different Disney groups? Are they aware of each other? Like, can they?
Yes.
Go ahead.
And you would think that they would communicate more just about things like, why am I approved here for Disney events as a whole, but not here? Essentially, like if I've been through the questionnaires and things like that here, why is Joe over in this department talking about no, we don't want her to come to the thing? Why? I'm great. So they're all within the big company, but it's just different people. And sometimes people leave roles and jobs and things like that. It is very much people ran. So it's a system that is flawed and changing and all of those things. So
Okay. But then you ended up going. So you're in the hotel.
I'm in the hotel lobby.
You wasn't supposed to be there.
I'm supposed to be there, and they have shuttles that take you over. So I'm like, what if there's no room for me on the shuttle? Which is fine. I have my car, but I'm just like, what if in front of all these people, they're like, Star Child, you're not supposed to be here. What if that happened? That would be so embarrassing. How am I even like? I don't know if I could even spin that. I would do my best, but oh my god! But they didn't say anything, even though some of those people there did know me. Like some of the emails I received.
Star Child, was that Star Child?
Right.
Is that with the T? Is that one T or two?
But the thing is, sometimes I'm under my government name. Sometimes Tiffie. They don't like just however they put me down or whatever. I'm just like, I don't know. And some of them did know me, and I feel like they were like, I don't think that we put Tiffie Star Child on this list because it's just names I'm finally putting with faces and things like that from emails I receive and things. But I'm just like, but I make it onto the bus. Nothing happens. No one tries to clock me, and I'm having conversations with people just like I'm supposed to be there, just like yeah. So we end up in that backstage area where, which for me was really weird. I haven't worked at Disney for 10 years. So seeing how it looked now, I'm like, kids have it fucking good. But just going on where we entered, there were tables for us to check in, cast members kind of everywhere, just kind of making sure that people didn't have their phones out and that they were guiding us to where we needed to go to check in. And I'm just like, am I going to be on the right list? And I was. So I got the correct wristband and everything. They eventually just and we were like kind of mingling around. There were different TikTok people there. So it's interesting to see who they're inviting for these events. Like you don't just have to be a Disney person, which is interesting because especially within the Disney Black content creator community, we discuss a lot what happens at these events and how we're represented and sometimes what the criteria is. And it feels like Black content creators, especially, we have to sanitize ourselves down a lot in order to be good enough to get on the Disney list. Whereas other people, I've seen a titty, a booty cheek, all types of swearing. And I had to make a decision a while ago. It affected the way that I viewed content. And that's why you don't see me at Disneyland as much anymore or posting as much Disney. I didn't want to gear towards something I'm not to get an invitation when the whole career is much better. Yes, question?
You mentioned something about a titty and somebody, I just got a direct message from one of our somebody watching in the crowd, they were just wondering like if there was a point of reference or a link that you had.
Hey, yo.
I just got to go to this is the inbox. It's not me. I'm asking for a friend.
Right,
you know what I'm
right.
saying? Now, I look for the record. I don't know what it could be. It could be male titty, animal tit. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Look, somebody asked about the titty. Nah, but no, look, let me. I'm gonna respond. Don't worry about that. Go ahead, Tiff.
That's very.
I'll answer that. I'm gonna do that. No, come on, it's not that kind of show. All right, calm down. All right, got it.
Right. So about the city, it was glorious. No, but not Franz. Yes, go on.
Go
ahead. But that's just to illustrate that there were a lot of us that really edited down our content or stopped making certain content altogether, or even made separate accounts entirely to be more authentic in who they were online, to be clean enough for Disney. Whereas other content creators could be daggone near adult level, like this is not a page for children, and you would see them there. So it just, the more events we attend and share information with each other, we kind of piece what it's like on the inside of Disney and how these lists happen and how they determine who's going to be able to go to what and things like that. So, and just to connect it back to the story, seeing different TikTokers that are not Disney related and don't make that type of content at all, just different ones that are just entertaining. Sometimes there are food content creators there. Sometimes, like, you know, the girl that does the Jasper from Twilight.
The Jasper. No, I don't.
Yes.
On TikTok, yes. Like she imitates like the different 2000s movies and things like that. She's very popular. She was there. She was super nice. So you're just seeing different people, different personalities outside of the community that we're always like around, things like that. And basically we get checked in. They take us behind stage. And if you're familiar with Disneyland, it was the backside of Fantasyland. So right in front of It's a Small World, and everything is super dark. I'm not brave. I would probably be very scared if I wasn't like already familiar with what this kind of looked like. But it's kind of scary, like Disneyland at night, and you're walking through, and I feel like they're like, okay, no, these light bills we need to cut something somewhere. It needs to be damn near pitch dark at night. It's so dark at Disneyland. There's nothing on, and everything is just shadows. The teacups, the statue of the Cheshire Cat near the Alice in Wonderland bathrooms. It's all very creepy, I promise. But they took us around. They took us around through Fantasyland, and there's like cast members every few feet with the flashlights, because that's like really the only light source. And they take us down in front of the castle. The castle's dark, but they kind of have the lighting set up, and it's the blue. If you watch the American Idol performance, you could see the whole castle and things like that. But they had the castle kind of lit up, and they were testing the projections. They had those big genie lift things, and those were just kind of hanging out, and there were like the different cameras set up and things like that. And then they had the bottom of Hallie's dress, because you could tell she looked super tall, but that's because it was like a box cone set up with the same fabric of her dress like draped over it, and that spread out and had all those lights in it. So we're just seeing all of this from the side of the castle, because they're not letting us into the front of it yet, and Hallie is not there. But they had the churro machine in front of the castle going, so they did some churros and tea, and those were the freshest, bestest churros I've ever had in my life. I'm a churro person like that, but those churros were so good. I don't have any tea though. I was fine with my water. And then it was also really weird, because as content creators, the camera eats first all the time. But we cannot have our cameras out, even at this point, even though we're in Disneyland, we're not backstage anymore. So
how does that work? Can they really, truly enforce you not having your cameras out? Like, is there like Tiny Lister, Debo walking around like, I see a phone.
Yeah,
like, talk to them.
Yeah, there are people, there are so many, and you know who they are because they're dressed in business casual. I'll never wear business casual again in my life, but business casual. Business casual, and I used to have to wear business casual to college because my mom worked on campus. I won't ever go back. It was awful. But they had the name tags on. You see them in the business casual, and they're friendly, but there is like a threat behind their eyes. They're watching you specifically to make sure that you're not breaking the rules. So there's people everywhere. They are not hiding. They're letting you know. And at some point during the filming, it was like a black man that was running the set, and he was very efficient. And it was really funny because he was like, at one point he was like, "Hey, who wants to go home early?" And we're cold. We're thinking, "Oh my God, go home early. Let's go." He's like, "The next phone I see out, you will be dismissed." And we were just like, And we were like, "Who did it? Who has the audacity to do that?" So yes, they are very serious about the phones. But it's weird because we're used to just always creating content of every moment. So we were really like forced to like fucking like talk to each other and shit, like, and just enjoy the company around us and the vibes of Disneyland, which was fine. But we really were just like, man, it feels so weird to not feel anything right now. We all need help. But so eventually they took us in front of the castle, and we were just like, we have to find a way to be in front. We cannot be pushed to the back. That's not happening today, especially because there were a lot of non-Black people there. And to be perfectly honest, Ariel is for everybody, but this Ariel is also very significant specifically to Black women, and we don't have to pretend like we don't know why. So it was very much like a no, and I'm good at that. I'm gonna end up in front of where I want to be. So we linking arms as friends and just making sure that we're walking through so that we're front in the semicircle, in front of her. And I will say there were some really like dope people that intentionally were like, I'm in the front and I'm not a Black woman. Let's switch. And there were people that were looking out for things like that, which was
wow.
Creative. Yeah. So we were there and waiting for a while. Then she was brought out in like this huge blanket, and everyone cheered for her. And she had to be
brought
like,
out in the blanket.
Yeah. Oh, a big old heavy blanket. Yeah. That looked like the best blanket in the world, to be honest. Because it was so like big and fluffy, and every time in between takes, they'd be like, keep her warm, keep her warm. So we would start saying, keep her warm, and they would bring out the blanket and like bring her tea because it's cold. And she was singing live. She sang live for the first two ones, and then I think she did lip sync the next one because it was cold, and she was telling them, we need to go because it's cold. I'm not going to be able to do this for too much longer. All those high notes, everything, like she was doing that live, and she was really sweet because like she would kind of like look at us and smile and things like that. So she, yeah.
How did she? Now you're a performer, all right? You're an actress and an actor in your own right. Did she appear to be uncomfortable but trying to play it off like she wasn't comfortable? Like, you know what I'm saying? Was she giving vibe like, all right, let's get this shit over with, man? It's 4 a.m. God damn it, it's cold as fuck. You know what I'm saying?
She was in between both of those energies. Like she was not shy at all. And that was like, and if you've seen her come up with her career with her sister, like it's good to see, especially a young Black woman take control. She's the star there, to be honest. Right. Like they need her more than anybody on that set. But she wasn't arrogant or rude about it. When she was saying, we need to go, or this is getting difficult, it was very sweet, but it was very direct. I was taking notes on like, yeah, not that I'm like the star and I'm super irreplaceable in the things that I do, but very much like you can advocate for yourself and just be confident in what you do. Like you don't have to be shy and like, oh, I'm so sorry, but which is how I tend to approach situations, like always very apologetic. She was not apologetic, and she also wasn't rude, and I really respected that. Like just watching her interact with her people, her hair people. There was people she didn't have to touch a hair. She didn't have to touch like a hair on her head. Like they adjusted everything. They adjusted her dress. She didn't move.
Okay,
and it was like great to witness. So.
All right. And then she sang. Now, I do think it's interesting because y'all heard the same story I just heard, right? Like there's basically top flight security going all around looking to make sure that nobody had phones. But meanwhile, here's Tiffie recording on her phone. And I'm just wondering,
is this legal?
Like how exactly did we avoid having the phone police coming over when they're clear? Oh, this must have been after everything happened or something. What happened, Tiff? Talk to it.
Yeah, because I didn't break any rules because I'm not stupid. Because for the last take specifically, they said, okay, influencers, you can take, like they announced that we can take out our phones, and we could film as we wanted to. So I chose to get the footage of her. I have the entire performance, but my thing is just like, it's not gonna look better than what was professionally produced. That's not gonna be my goal in sharing the content here. I don't want to just have her singing. So that's why I got some of like the crowd. They gave us the little LED light things to hang out with. And oh yeah, that was funny because he was like, between takes, he'd be like, all right, this time we're gonna sway. And then he found out that not everybody had rhythm. Like, move them in front of your face. Like we had to do. So one time we just had to watch her through the lights and just wiggling these little things. And I felt like a seeing to me. Like that was fine.
That's crazy. Yeah. So you heard Halle Berry. It's really hard for me to not call her Halle Berry, Tyrone. I'm sorry. Her name is too similar. They need to fix that. But anyway, it's you saw Halle Bailey perform live. And I know we all look up to Halle Bailey. We can't say anything bad about her because she's in a real precarious position right now. But can you keep it real with us and tell us if the performance was where it should have been, or if we still got a little bit of work to do on the performing live thing?
How did I not express enough how good she is in this role? You watch my videos where I was
All right. I'm just making sure because the video was 90 seconds.
Am I a bad content creator? I thought I express myself very effectively as a person. But maybe I don't. If you are still asking me that question.
The question has caused an existential crisis. And now that's content.
All right. So let the record say that she definitely killed her role and could sing in real life, because that was always like my concern. Like, you know, one thing that we have overlooked as a result of Halle taking this mantle, Frantz, is the fact that this is a live action Disney movie. Now, what does all Disney movies have, at least the animated ones that are being brought to live action, is music. They're musicals, and we forget about that, bro. And sometimes they switch these out. We all know Jason Weaver was the voice of Lil Simba, the one that Omar and his boy love. Will, I know Will. I know Will. It's all Will. We get it. Don't please address hate mail to Will. It does not go to Omar. He's speaking vicariously. But I mean, it's still a musical. Frantz, are you a musical guy? Can you?
I am not off rip a musical guy, because the musicals by and large sound. They move in a white way. I can't even. You know, the tone, the timbre, the measure, the meter is mad like counterintuitive to my melanin. However, sometimes there's subject matter. You know, sometimes there's subject matter. You know what turned me around? What turned me around was Sweeney Todd. Sweeney Todd was like, I was like,
especially Caucasian. What?
No.
White guy in white face.
I thought you were going to say Sister Act 2. I don't have it or something.
I thought he was going to say The Wiz.
No. Sister Act 2 is not a musical. Sister Act 1 is not a musical. That's just Motown's greatest hits. That's like, I'm here for that. I was like, with Lauryn Hill. Anyway.
As a quick correction, Sister Act is in fact a musical, but Frantz was referring to the movies. Because I know that someone out there is like,
all right, that's admitted in evidence.
Thank you, Tiffie. But yeah, I wasn't into it because I couldn't get into the subject matter. And then I had in Sweeney Todd, I was like, okay, broke people talking about eating the rich. I was like, tell me more. and then I was like, oh, so it's not. So then I started paying more attention. My wife Aisha is an actor, so she started putting me on to different musicals.
What's up, Aisha?
Here. So then I had a shift. Now I rock with musicals, and as folks may know, as I had to defend Anne Hathaway's legacy on Les Mis.
Talk about it.
Whoa! You're defending Anne Hathaway.
Yes. What? No, Anne Hathaway is she
is one of the whites we protect. Okay.
Is she?
Yes, her homegirl from Paramore. Yes.
WWP.
I don't think. Okay, all right. So her and Chris Evans was who all is on this list again?
Chris Jamal Evans. You gotta say the whole thing.
Oh, Chris Jamal Evans. My bad.
Yes.
I didn't have the Jamal in there. Let me get that on there. Okay, cool. And yeah. So why are we defending Anne? What did she do?
What did she
First
do?
of all, let's put respect on the Queen of Genovia's name. Okay.
That is Amelia Millionette. I don't remember the rest.
Oh, my bad. We just went into theater class.
Nah, but not real talk. My whole actors are actors. Actors do really awesome things. But for Les Mis, homegirl sang.
Come on,
rip.
She
did a medium shot the whole time. Cut her hair.
She did cut her
while singing. Come
and
on,
they filmed
B.
that movie live. They wasn't lip singing. They filmed that movie singing.
With
She had to
so
carry that
Logan,
joint. She booked
I mean,
back
one
that
Hugh
whole
Jackman was there too, right? Wasn't he
He's a
doing this?
musical theater genius, but we're not talking about him. We're talking about Anne.
You're not gonna redirect attention
The
from
Greatest
Anne.
Showman is one of my favorites.
It's giving.
We're not talking about him right now.
No, but Hugh Jackman Ben had it. We knew he had it. We didn't know it had it
All right.
like that.
Okay, hold on. I'm catching a vibe right here. All right, can we just raise our hand if you're into musicals? Just hands up for those of us into musicals. All right. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're outnumbered, Omar. Oh, wait a minute, Omar's hand.
That was peer pressure. That was peer pressure.
Omar's hand is like over here. He's like me. Okay, all right, my bad. Let me ease up off of him then, man. I just, Ty, I think we're the last of a dying breed here, bro. Like when I think musicals, listen, I ain't gonna lie. Like I could stomach the animated movies, you know what I'm saying, with the musicals, man. But yo, I ain't gonna lie, bro. This upcoming Joker movie, bro, if it's all musical, it's gonna be a problem. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a problem. I'm here for Lady Gaga, but I don't know, man. What's up, Omar?
I think I see what you mean. I think when you're expecting a musical, it's fine. But then when you get to that episode, like, oh, they're doing a musical episode of whatever show it was.
Scrubs.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this is. I mean, but that's all right. One is fine, but then wasn't there a musical? It was a BET show. Something, but it was like, oh, was it
the whole fucking last season of Dear White People?
Yes. So I was like,
oh yeah.
One episode was cool. Oh, we're doing this the whole, and when something didn't start out that way, then I think that could be maybe where the disconnect is. Like it's like, oh, I know I'm going to see a musical. All right, this is fine. It's been 3 episodes. These motherfuckers are still singing. What you're trying something new. It's hurting me here. So that might be where your disconnect is right there.
A surprise musical is a different vibe.
Yeah,
man.
Joker.
Don't shock. Don't sneak musical me. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, just give it to me blood raw. If you're gonna give it to me, that's fine. And so I guess I'm hoping
disgusting.
that this upcoming movie isn't gonna
I don't like musicals. Give it to me blood raw.
Yeah, give me musicals blood raw with no chaser. Which is the music. I'm just a little nervous because I'm gonna keep it real with y'all, and then we can move on because I mean this is it's hilarious. But I'm just the whole Little Mermaid craze that we are experiencing right now. Can we all admit that we're into it because of who Halle is, of the fact that they booked a black woman to peg for this role? Would we really have anything invested? Like Tiffie, would you have been as invested in this trip into going to see this Ariel if it was, say, Ariana Grande, or if it was, I mean, you would still be there. I know you'd still be there. I know you would. But would that whole I need to be to the front thing, would that whole would that cultural aspect of it, would it still exist in you?
No, the cultural aspect wouldn't exist in me because Ariana Grande ain't of my culture.
Thank you. Right.
But that's kind of a different question though. Okay. As far as it being excitement for Ariel and things like that, but I'm a Disney person, so maybe so that I'm coming into this already a fan of Ariel and happen to be a fan of Ariana Grande as well. So, but no, the cultural connection wouldn't be there. I probably would not sacrifice my spot in the front for a little white girl, but that's okay. And I would have a great time and still feel the magic. Like, but I think to your point of just being burnt out on musicals, I think that Disney made a different choice with Halle. Yes, she's a Black woman and we are celebrating that. And there's going to be a lot of people supporting for that reason. I think that's great. The other side of it is they cast a really for real singer. If they're going to do these musicals, let's have them sound good. Halle's out here doing Halle's out here doing what the other live action princesses could not. Lily James, as great as she was as Cinderella, her voice was nice and sweet, and Cinderella really wasn't song heavy like that as well. Naomi Scott as Princess Jasmine, that was one song that she sings with Aladdin, you know, like it really wasn't doing all that much. She's out here actually singing like the princesses that we grew up with and embodying them like from head to toe. And we haven't seen that with the live action movies. So outside of Halle's race, I think that she really is just the best person for Ariel. And we haven't seen a match like this. Emma Watson was terrible as Belle. She was terrible as Belle, and even worse as a singer. It was a mistake to have her singing those songs. And it's wild that, you know, traditionally Disney has been like, okay, you're going to be the actress for singing and you're going to be the actress for acting. And that was what they did, and it was fine. I don't know why they fell into this thing where you have to do the singing and you have to do the acting. I don't know. But I think also maybe social media comes into play. Social media is so much more prominent for us now than it was when Lily James was Cinderella and Emma Watson was Beauty and the Beast. We're talking more. TikTok is much bigger. So I think there's a lot of things outside of Halle's race that lead to the popularity of this movie. So
it's crazy that they chose Emma Watson when Anne Hathaway was right there.
You think Anne Hathaway would have been a better? She's a better
Belle.
She looks like.
It's all right. Well, Anne Hathaway can sing,
and Frantz definitely agrees with me. Yeah, Anne Hathaway stands. What's up?
Well, I mean, is it okay? I didn't know. All right, hey, when Yaz is back, let's let her know to make those shirts. All right, for the Anne Hathaway fans. All right, let's get those out there, everybody.
We fan Hathaways.
Fan Hathaway. What's up, Omar?
I was gonna say it couldn't be Ariana Grande because Ariel doesn't have any sleeves. So how could she?
Stop it.
No, you can't do the little. I put on a jacket just for that. It was very hot. I was burning up.
Yes. Well, I mean, I that's hilarious. Number one, number two. I hope that this movie actually, I hope it's a good movie because, God forbid, the movie we have to defend it, even though it's not as great as we'd want it to be. Is there any chance, maybe Ty, let me ask you, bro, is there any chance like folks like me and you who aren't necessarily into musicals could go into this with a predisposition saying, look, we ain't gonna like it because it's a musical and just not like it, but just because we know Halle Bailey, we want this to be successful, we'll give it our dollars, but walk away and then give it a bad rating on Rotten Tomatoes?
No, because as a fan of Halle Bailey, I know how she sounds. Like she can sing. Like her and her sister can sing. So, and what I just heard in the reel that Tiffie did was amazing vocals. Like she was going, her range is crazy. So of course I'm gonna see it because I have kids and I'm gonna take them to go see it. But I'm gonna enjoy it as a person who enjoys music, but not necessarily musicals. I enjoy her voice. So I'm going to enjoy every time I get to hear her voice on screen. And if everything aligns with that, and what I mean is if the acting is good, if the storyline, I mean, it was what was written well. I mean, they didn't really have to do much, but whatever the case may be, if it all aligns, then you put it all together. It's a great movie, regardless whether it's a musical or not.
Well, if I could, real quick, Nolly, I mean, it's already getting backlash for Flounder not being thick enough. They're already saying that Flounder's too skinny. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, it you can already see them trying to pick it apart. It's just difficult for me to accept when Disney moves from these animated movies where you can do anything with animation, and now you move into a reality state where you kind of don't have that same luxury, man. Are we going to find that this is going to go the same route? Look, don't get me wrong. I know we love Aladdin, all right? We've showed it, but the movie didn't do as well as we may have thought, maybe for certain reasons. Is this possibly in danger of having that same result? Nolly?
Racist gon' racist, no matter what. Like, I'm rooting for everybody black. So
course.
I'll probably go see it once or twice. I just fuck it. Like, what you? We gonna do this every time. I'm excited. Y'all not tired? I'm tired. Like every time. First of all, animated flounder didn't even look like a flounder. So Google it. Google it and humble yourself. Humble yourself immediately. Unclench because what? Fuck out of here. Yellow and blue with chubby cheeks looking cute and shit. Get out.
That's a flounder. What's up, Bad Ty?
I was just gonna say, racists do racist until they hear voices like Whitney Houston and Halle Bailey. And I think in this case, they probably will be hating until she opens her mouth and sings the first song, and they like, well,
yeah, possibly. Well, I think
so it's it is what it is.
Tyrone, I also think that there's like, I think that the concept at first was when we heard about Black Ariel, which we shouldn't even call her that. It should just be Ariel, all right, because that's who she is. All right, she's not Black Ariel. Yara's not Black Tinkerbell. She's Tinkerbell, and she's Ariel. That's just what it is. But when we heard about it, we kind of got Black Panther vibes, all right? And some folks were like, oh shit, all black under the sea, bitch. What? You know what I'm saying? And then we realized, like, no, it's not an all black. Like, Ariel's like basically one of the only black people in this movie, if you look at the cast. And what I think the biggest backlash is going to come from, Tyrone, isn't even from Ariel after you see this. It's going to be from Sebastian. Being played by a non-Caribbean man who we love to death. Don't get me wrong, we love him in Hamilton. But anytime your blood clot fake up her mind and you don't do the real accent, brethren, think say y'all gonna have some backlash. So I'm just hoping that there's no problems there, Tyrone.
I do understand there might be some hard feelings that they didn't accept your audition tape. So I will say I'm sorry, Vince. You would have been a great Sebastian. It would have been wonderful. No, the hype is going to be high for Halle and for Ariel, but ultimately this is one of the Disney live action remakes, and I think that they just kind of like lack a lot of the magic of the animated movies. Honestly, I feel like if Disney went the Who Framed Roger Rabbit route and stopped trying to make it look real and just started to kind of just like mix it up in a very fantastical way, so we can still get non-terrifying anthropomorphic, animal characters and stuff. Like let's just keep it cute, keep it flashy and fun and bright and stuff. I think somebody needs to switch the strategy here, because it's the Ariel thing is, I think Halle's gonna be great. People are going to love her performance. There are going to be a lot of new fans. I think she's going to be the standard for Ariel going forward. But anytime Scuttle shows up on the screen, we're going to be like, ugh. And Sebastian shows up and it's a nightmare. So it's
yeah. That's my biggest fear, man, is that this happens, man. But either way, I know we all gonna support it, and so I'm glad that Tiff got a chance to kind of get a preview of what we gonna be looking forward to with this up and coming Disney movie. I'm excited, even though I'm not really a big musical guy. I'm not even a big Little Mermaid guy. Like, this has reawakened my desire to see a Disney movie with music in it. So kudos to that. And I'm hoping that it can be as good as this movie we just saw. Now, we already talked about Guardians of the Galaxy a little bit last week, but we didn't get a chance to hear what Omar said about it. And he actually did have an opinion. If I'm not mistaken, it went a little something.
Man.
Ooh.
Saw Guardians of the Galaxy 3 yesterday, and I won't spoil anything, but my initial reaction was,
I just wanted to know if the 80s could bring me some popcorn, because this was fucking entertaining.
And I just love the themes within the movie because it deals with loss, love, change, and your family, right? Also the found family and the dynamics within that found family. There's so many times where they're at each other's throats, and I'm like, they aren't at each other's throats like friends. They're at each other's throats like family, and the things that go unsaid, but also the things that get said to your family. My favorite thing about this movie is we see the lengths they're willing to go to save a loved one, and that means killing anyone in their way. No questions asked. And I'm like, oh, I did not expect to see this from a Marvel movie. Yeah, Yeah! I'm actually surprised Drowning Pool wasn't on that iPod playlist because the bodies were hitting the floor. I also gotta give Star-Lord credit. We really see here that his power is just thinking on his feet quickly. They did a really good job of that for this movie. The movie also gave me a huge appreciation for Mantis. I felt Mantis really got to like shine in this movie. It was campy, but it was also earnest the entire movie, and that made a great balance. The movie's long, but it did not drag, and when you get to that ending, it feels like it really stuck the landing. I had to look at myself like, am I really here in this theater crying over a raccoon? Yeah. Guardians of the Galaxy is a franchise that kept being wacky, kept being weird, but also kept surprising you the entire time, and this movie is no different.
So, Omar, safe to say you enjoyed the movie, homeboy.
Yeah, man, I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. It was, listen, it's some shit about me, man. Anytime we're dealing with death, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm there. Let's go. Let's talk about that shit. I fucking love it. Let's fucking get into that without getting into my fucking trauma. But yeah, I'm there for that story because that means there's stakes on it and whatnot. And I wasn't really sure if Rocket was going to survive, but like they had me within the trailer where like Peter Quill like spit screaming and shit, and they're all like fucking like yelling, and like this is the last ride. I like a story where it's like this is the last time we'll be together as we are. Yeah. I am all like the moment has passed, right? Just I mean, what Ant-Man didn't do. Like we are together in this moment, but like not all of us are gonna come out of this alive. This is the last time we're together as we are. And for that movie, they didn't take any easy. It was campy, yes, but it was balanced with heart. And also in the end, I won't like spoil whatever, but like they didn't take an easy route. They could have easily gone one way with like, oh, we're all together. But like, nah, and like sometimes when you're still a family, even if you're not all, you're not all like present there. Sometimes you have to like branch out and whatnot. So like, I'm like, they acted like a real family. They treated it like what happens to an actual family, found family, whatever. Family. Then Diesel's here.
Fast and Furious much? Somebody family now.
I just 2 days ago, it's family values over here. Family to you, everything.
Franz, the same way, bro. You caught it. You feel the same way?
I did. I didn't know what to expect. I mean, the trailer. Marvel and their deceptive ass trailers. I thought Pete was gonna die. I'm like, ooh, I'm here for that. I love it. I mean, Joss Whedon sucks in a lot of ways, but he's good for killing somebody in a fun way. So I was hoping for some of that gravitas, and it delivered. My thing was I feel like James Gunn took a hard left on undoing all the MCU retcons they did away from the comic stuff. Because little homegirl's name at the end is Phyla. I'm like, oh, Phyla Vela's in the building?
That's
right. Like Quasar was here? Like, what's happening to the gender swift shifting of Cosmo was, it didn't make a big deal, but also Maria Balakova, she's her. I was like, she's her. I was like, so they made all these little shifts. I was like, oh, to make Adam Warlock super childish. If he was like in the OG comics, like I was like, oh, this is good. I was like, this like James Gunn really was like, I'm gonna do me. They can't say nothing to me. I'm at DC now.
Right. Basically.
But I mean, those are the stakes necessary. You have to shift the narrative in that really big way to confuse us. Otherwise, we've seen a million Marvel movies. We know how it's supposed to go. And this one, I was off kilter the whole time. Now, no spoilers, but Adam Warlock showed a record shot within 10 seconds of the movie starting. It was all happy-go-lucky, and then it was like, oh. It was like Radiohead and then kill somebody.
Yeah. Yes.
Like, oh,
well, first of all, it's been 3 weeks, so we spoiling all that shit. I don't give a good goddamn. We out here shit. So say it if it need to be said. We've already expressed that we was gonna give them at least a week. So what's it been like 3? So we out there. Number 1, number 2. Yeah, I think that this is definitely a good direction for them to go in. And there was a hint, and I said this before. Of fuck you, Marvel, if you could from James Gunn. There was something in my head, Omar, that said to me that James Gunn was like, I'm finna make a movie that's gonna show y'all why y'all need me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like there was something in his spirit that was like, I'm not putting no puss ass, punk ass, fuckboy movie out here this time. Like, even though, don't get me wrong, the other ones was good. You know, even though I would say 2 was probably the worst out of all 3. You know what I'm saying? It went 1, 3, 2, maybe even 3, 1, 2, some would say. But he definitely was not trying to go out like, all right, I'm a Game of Thrones this, call it in, do seven episodes, be out. He's like, no. I'm gonna close this trilogy in a manner that whoever picks it up after me, they're gonna be saying like, dang man, what happened, man? James did it this way. What are you doing? And I feel like that's what they was going for, Omar.
I agree entirely. Look, I mean, they didn't Ant-Man it, right? I ain't Taika Waititi. I ain't whoever did fucking Ant-Man. I ain't like this is big gun James Gunn out now. So yeah, and I always really liked it, the way he his writing and storytelling, the way he directs it. I mean, again, you still have like there's so many moments where they're doing the slow motion walk and shit, but when things are balanced, it doesn't really. It doesn't bother me. I especially like Gamora going, oh my God, we're doing it, and going back. The real funny part for me was like having a high evolutionary down, and it's like, all right, you're gonna kill him. Like, nah, I'm a guardian of the galaxy. Like, okay, you might want to we can instant replay and get Rick James out of the instant replay because you killed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like, what? Blow that man's brains out. That's the only thing I would have preferred. I would have preferred just like the bam. All right, let's go. Like. But I'm sure there was a reason.
Marvel, my bad. Marvel is way too famous for killing every damn villain. Everybody died. Every villain dead. What's the continuity at? How are we coming back? Where's the redemption arc for anybody?
Did they kill him?
Killmonger dead.
But he was still in the sequel.
Dead?
He was with the ancestors.
His spirit was.
Go back and think about every MC movie. Who's dead? Like everybody dead. Red Skull dead.
Okay, Loki died 3 times. Yeah. All right. Hulk was emasculated. I have a feeling that I mean we did lose. Look, Spider-Man. Well, in the comics he died a couple times. Especially when
they
Ben
killed
Reilly
Green Goblin in the first movie.
Green Goblin was first. Yeah. Well, I'm trying to think. In the movies, did they really kill off everybody? I don't know. They seem to always like lock them up and shit.
In the beginning, they was everybody was dying. In the beginning, everybody was dying.
But do you say for like with the redemption arc, do we need one for High Evolutionary?
If he's gonna be Kang, yes.
All right, you're getting okay.
Which is why it works that he's alive, but. I don't know if that's what they're gonna do.
And I was about to say with Kang, we don't have no definitive death. We didn't have a definitive
no.
death.
They've kind of wisened up a little bit on that, but in the beginning, everybody was catching. But I'm like, these characters have a publication history of 60 years. What?
Well, hold on, Ty. I take issue with what you said. The Kang dynasty, they came out and said that he was dead. They declared him dead.
The council,
the Council of Kangs, they was like, nah, he's
but
dead.
That was one thing.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of them. There's multiple. Yeah. I mean, obviously, he controls the multiverse.
But we don't have plenty Red Skulls and stuff like that.
Yeah. So I mean,
we got multiverse now.
So I think that Omar. First of all, Omar has completely destroyed my Marvel movie watching experience because now in every movie I see that has Marvel flip up in the beginning, I'm expecting somebody to die, and if they don't, I'm pissed the fuck off. And that's just kind of how it is. Now, Tiff, on the other hand, just wants to make sure that all of the characters in the movies are attractive enough to maintain it. Because last time she let us know that she wasn't too sad about, Counter Earth and losing.
All creatures must die.
And losing some of the.
I'm sorry, it was ugly. I was like, God damn.
I mean, Tiff, you still feel like Counter Earth got with it. Moving right along. How you feel? Tiff? How you feel? That's how you feel about Counter Earth. They don't deserve to be with us anymore. Okay, wow. Okay, I'm gonna let Ebony speak on your behalf, and we will let this go ahead and just be the end of this. They was ugly. Period. Moving right
along. And that's my best friend.
I complete each other's comments. I'm loving it. I got a reel for that, by the way. I want you to check it out. That's dropping on Tuesday. We'll talk about it. But I mean, the problem is, as we talk about these two movies, we talk about Ant-Man, where Ant-Man frankly should have died or been caught at least in the quantum realm,
an injury or something.
Guardians of the Galaxy, where frankly Star-Lord could have died.
Yeah.
He could have been perfectly well killed.
Yep.
Right?
That was the worst part of the movie for me. Literally, and I think the theater was quiet, and all you heard was "be fucking for real" from me in the back.
Well, yeah, I mean, and that death would have been significant because in the first Guardians, if I'm not mistaken, it was Yondu who saved him from that same type of death, right?
Second Guardians.
It would it was the second Guardians. I'm sorry. So it would have made sense for them to let him go that way. But now we've got this freaking this whole new Star-Lord realm that we maybe. What do you think they meant, Tiff, when they said Star-Lord will return?
The legendary Star-Lord
series, the legendary. Are we looking at more movies? Do we want more from Star-Lord, Tiff?
I think that it means that we're probably going to see Chris Pratt in different Marvel movies because they just like to borrow characters. Willicanillicus. So I think that
the government name that shit.
So yeah, I think that we might not see the Guardians as the group because they're all doing their separate things, but we're probably going to see Star-Lord, even if it's not in a standalone movie. But the nerds know more than I do.
Go ahead, Frantz.
Yeah, so there's this really dope Star-Lord arc that finished out maybe 2 years ago, where he's in this really cool throuple, and and they live for like 1,000 years, and he really gets the hold of his elemental abilities because he's really half Spartax, whatever the case. But maybe we'll get some of that action.
He's in a throuple. It's a male and he has one man and one girl, right? Like that's or something like that.
It's Richard Rider and Gamora, man. That's Nova and Gamora. No. That's Star-Lord, Nova, and Gamora, man. That's the you want a power throuple. That's Cosmos, yo. Gamora, Richard Rider. That man's name is Dick Rider, yo. Dick. Man, come on now. Nah, man. Most dangerous woman in the fucking galaxy. Dick Rider, the ultimate Nova, and motherfucking Star-Lord.
Oh my god.
But you know they're gonna give us Sam Alexander, Tiffy.
No.
What was that arc? What do I look up specifically?
Rebel.
I hit you after. I'm pretty sure it's Legendary Star. Oh, say
again. France. It's Legendary Star-Lord. What you're talking about? Legendary Star-Lord is 2014 to 2015. They are following when he's back on Earth now for a time. It's like Gunn's following the comic book. He's back on Earth for a time, and he's not stranded, but he's like, all right, let me get back to my shit here. And it's adventures of him on Earth. And let me see the writer. I don't think that was Bendis. Humphreys.
Wait, this is
Sam Humphreys. Yeah, Sam Humphreys was writing that. So this is they're going way back again, just like as James Gunn's MO, they're going way back. It's like, oh no, you can check the comic out. They like what you should do. That is the good thing about Gunn. I'll follow the comic book, but we're gonna switch some shit up here.
Well, yeah. Well, they're using Chris Pratt though. I mean, do you think? I mean, if we are to expect or to hope that Frantz gets his wish and he gets to see these sister wives in action, once everything is put into, I'm just kidding. All right,
our wish. All
right, but is Chris Pratt? I mean, just because they said Star-Lord will return doesn't mean Chris Pratt will. And let's admit, some of our major Marvel actors have been in turmoil lately. Chris Pratt not being any stranger to it. Did y'all see what happened to him this week just based off of his post? Now, I'm very curious about this. This gets a little personal. Nothing serious. This is very lighthearted, but I'm just curious as to how many of y'all think that this is actually an issue. Like this upcoming week, he actually made a Mother's Day post. Now, this is something that's been getting him in trouble. Now, I already know how some of our panelists feel about it, some of which who are not here to speak on it today, who have some extreme anti-Chris Pratt leniencies.
I'll make up for them.
Thanks, Nolly. So I guess my question is this really a controversy? So this week, Chris Pratt posted on Mother's Day what he thought was probably a good post for Mother's Day. Now, mind you, just to give this a little context, last time Chris Pratt got into a little bit of trouble because he made an announcement, said something really nice about his kids, but say something about them being healthy and all this other stuff, but didn't say nothing about his child that he has with Anna Faris, who unfortunately I believe has some neurotypical structures. So here's I'm just gonna tell y'all what the tweet said, and y'all tell me if this was a bad tweet or not. So Pratt says, on Mother's Day, happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers out there, especially grateful today for Catherine. Catherine, of course, being his wife. That's the young lady on his right-hand side, obviously. Especially you're a wonderful partner. You provided me such a blessed life. Our 2 daughters are so lucky to have you, and you're the best stepmama to Jack. And to my mom, Kathy, you raised us with such love and light and laughter. So grateful for you today. And always to Maria, best mama G. I'm lucky to have you as a mother-in-law, and to all the other moms in my life. I'm so grateful for all you do. Thank you so much. Hope you feel celebrated today. Bad tie. Just off that, did he do anything wrong with that statement?
I didn't see anything wrong with that statement.
All right.
So,
Tyrone, you detect anything wrong with that statement? Uh-oh.
You're muted. You're muted.
Thank you. That statement in a vacuum seems fine, but in the context of what we know about his life is a whole other thing. Yeah. So.
He sees the tea leaves. Go ahead, Nolly. Let us know how you feel.
You raggedy, dirty bitch. I bet you don't even wash your legs. You just let the water trickle down. Dare.
So go ahead, Nolly. Please tell us what's going on.
I can't stand him from his. Oh, I'm so blessed to have such healthy children. Your son almost died, when Anna gave birth to him. He's disabled, barely post that poor baby, and then you go mention your wife as his stepmama, but not the mama.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. My ex don't wish me nothing, but that's okay because I wish him hell. But like in his case, Mr. I'm so sorry I posted that. If you was really sorry, why would you go and post another weird just say thank you. She gave you your son, your first child, your firstborn. And it's a struggle because you up and left her in the middle of your marriage and decided to join Hillsong and support white supremacists. But that's a whole nother topic for another day, you fucking raggedy bitch. But
fries.
Yeah, it's one of those things of omission. Like you really left out your first baby mama for why? But then what I'm realizing when I saw the photo, which I didn't know, is that Maria is Maria Shriver. Your man is married into the Kennedys?
Yes. Hello.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, this is Schwarzenegger, bro. That's
not even just the Kennedys. Schwarzenegger too.
Yes, his dude married into the Terminator dynasty. You know what I'm saying? He's here for life.
So they got a Republican in the Kennedy. Anyway, so there's a lot going on. But that's a violation. It's not a hood in America if somebody would have been like, yeah, nah, bro, you wilding for that one. Go delete the tweet.
Tiffy, is the hate launched at him warranted, do you believe? Or, is this a personal matter? What you think?
I think that at this point, for him to feign like he doesn't constantly disrespect Anna, that's some type of will for ignorance. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's not as clueless about it. Look, it was his stupid fucking face. But he's not as
no lip having ass.
No, and look at his eyes. You can that's someone that's very manipulative. He knows exactly what he's doing. And like Tyrone said, in a vacuum, it's a lovely statement, but you're intentionally leaving out the first mother, the mother of your firstborn. And that's tacky. It's not the worst thing to be said. And I think that he likes playing that line. He likes being in the press for this sort of things. He's not as dumb as he likes to appear. Sorry.
Remember, like he says, people hated Jesus too.
Yeah, comparing yourself to Jesus. Yeah, this was a week after he compared himself to Jesus.
Okay, all right. Go ahead, Ty.
Yo, so because I think for me, since I have experience with a trifling ass baby mama, I don't see where I would have to acknowledge a trifling ass baby mama. I don't know if she's trifling, but I'm just saying that if they have a relationship where he feels like she's trifling, why the fuck am I acknowledging her at all? And a lot of times I understand how people view this, because they always, when you have these type of conversations, you always want to look out for the woman. But there's some trifling ass women out here. And I'm not saying that, again, Anna Faris is a trifling woman. I'm just saying,
what the fuck?
Why do you have to acknowledge a person you don't fuck with? Like even if she had your child, because I've had a child with a woman that I didn't like get to know. That's my fault. But it happened either way. We had a baby. Had I known her, I would have never fucking had a baby with her. But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? There's not going to be a day on Mother's Day where I'm acknowledging her for anything other than it's just not happening. So his wife in that moment, he's acknowledging his wife, and then at the end, he said, "Yeah, he probably did his slick shit." But people do slick shit all the time. We gonna hate the man for doing some slick shit? Like that's crazy. Like I'm different when it comes to stuff like that because I know how people move. We up here acting like everybody is like, oh, you know what I mean? That everybody deserves that. Everybody don't deserve that shit. Everybody don't deserve that shit. And I'm gonna be the one person to say that shit. Like I don't know what the deal is with him and Anna Faris, but he obviously don't like her. That's clear. That part is clear. So why the fuck am I gonna acknowledge somebody I don't like and don't fuck with?
Tiffie,
whether she my baby mama or not.
Everybody don't deserve it, but Chris Pratt does.
Tiffie, that don't sit well with you.
I don't know why he said trifling woman, then my picture got all big on the screen. But that was my what the fuck? I thought it was clear.
No, I saw your face. I saw your facial expression.
You got to think about timing sometimes, my nigga.
I didn't even know that that's what he said when he said anything. All I saw was her face. I was like, okay, Tiffany's having a reaction to what Ty's saying. Let me show what that's going on. I had no idea what he had said. Oh, that's what she said. What the fuck? I thought you was talking about what he was talking about with Anna Faris. But having said that, what Ty's saying, is he making any sense?
I'm not going to say that he doesn't have a particular or a specific type of experience with the mother of his children. I will say that, I'm sorry, child. I will say that when it comes to Anna Faris and Chris Pratt, sure, she could be trifling. She could. I feel like one person is in the media for being more trifling than the other. And while it's possible that maybe she just does her shit on the low and we don't know about it, I think it would be a mistake to not follow the patterns in this case sometimes. That man been a piece of shit. And it's not too much of a stretch to think that in this scenario, when she's the one left taking care of their disabled child, to me, again, I'm not trying to discredit your experience, but if we knew nothing about their relationship or nothing about them as people or what they've put out publicly, I feel like maybe we could take a more neutral stance. Chris Pratt has repeatedly been in the media for not good things, not directly related to his role in the Marvel movies. I'm not saying that there ain't shit baby mamas out there. I think it's kind of wild to flip this one and be like, well, we don't know what she did. But that to me just kind of read weird.
Yeah, well, it's interesting in the public spectrum, period. Is it necessary to do a public Happy Mother's Day? You know what I'm saying? Like, it feels like this dude, whenever he makes his announcements, he gets himself in trouble. If I was him, I would start sending text messages. Like, what?
Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice?
It's time to consider email, homeboy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why are we even doing this anymore? I mean, the whole public spectacle of Marvel's heroes could potentially bring them down. I mean, look at what's going on with your boy, with your boy Jonathan Majors. Now, this is a whole nother thing. Now, I don't want to get into the accusations, the everything that's going to be played out in court. I don't want to get into all that. I don't want to get into who did what to who. All right. I do want to get into how it affects Marvel. You know what I'm saying? And how this is going to affect the Kang dynasty and how it's portrayed moving forward. Frantz, I don't really know what's going to happen to him legally, but I know what's going to happen to me if I got to look at a whole nother dude playing Kang. If I have to adjust to other folks, I don't know whether or not it's going to affect, because let's keep it real. Did not Jonathan Majors capture the role of Kang in a manner that almost gave us, whoa, that's Kang right there. He's one of the only people I know, Frantz, that can captivate a Marvel audience, which is typically an audience that likes to see a lot of action, a lot of words, a lot of funny, to captivate us with a 10 to 15 minute long monologue. You know what I'm saying? In the Loki series, in which we sat there and watched the dude talk to two people for 10 minutes, and we walked away saying, holy shit, that's Kang right there. You know what I'm saying? But do we now have to start moving aside that thought that he's going to be the Kang representative and start leaning into the possibility that there may be other folks playing Kang, Frantz?
I mean, it's possible. I mean, we saw how quick Don Cheadle was on. We see how quick Rhodey could change. And if they could shift one black man that way, I'm sure they could do it again.
That's true. That's true.
What I would say is Jonathan Majors brings a particular intensity and gravity to every role he's in. And he really landed that Kang.
Yeah.
He was Kang's. And then
Stop it.
he knocked it out the park. It's really sad to think that we might not have that, but the reasoning is really strong. When your PR team dips on you,
yeah,
it's looking sus. On the flip side of that, we saw James Gunn go through the rumor mill, go through the grinder, have public opinion casting on him in a bad way, and the cast had to hold him up. They had to hold Marvel kind of hostage on that one in order to bring him back. And I don't know that Majors has that kind of got that pull.
Because he's black.
Heard you. I was like, so I mean, I think we're looking at it. They're gonna shift it, bro. Which I'm sure they mad about after they had him record 55 million versions of himself in that stadium.
Hooting and hollering in that stadium.
You think they gotta redo the whole castle?
They're gonna
the Castle of Kang Stadium is gonna be completely recycled. I don't know, man. I don't know, Omar. I don't know, man. This sucks so bad. The fact that we even had to have this conversation. You know, if I had my way, I would just, make him just be more private or be a better, just not have this issue happen completely. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it was that arises.
It's so easy.
But not,
just don't touch women. Like that.
well, I mean, there's that, obviously. I would prefer that none of this shit was a controversy that had to bring about this whole, notion that Disney, or excuse me, Marvel, who is owned by Disney, has to consider rebooking different characters, of which some have been named. I don't know what y'all think about. Did y'all hear about the potential for my man?
Woo! Let's go! Dance in Egypt. Sorry. I was a football fan. Sorry.
What happened, Omar? What happened, bro?
I like that's Franklin Saint, man. Do you know who he killed? Do you know who he killed? Trey, come on, Kim. Bodies. Him. Like, man, come on, man. Sorry.
Yeah, well, but this ain't Snowfall, homeboy. You gotta switch that Cali accent. You know what I'm saying? And put it on to something else. Could y'all see my man Damon as a new member of Kang? Are we only sold with or what you think? What you think?
Yes, because I want him at the head of the council of Kangs. And I want him to say, I built this, me, brick by brick, and I'll be damned if you say this shit down because you don't like the way another superhero talks. Villain, motherfucker. That's what I'm looking forward to.
I just don't know if I'm ready for the Council of Kangs to sound like he has a very thick, even though he's British, like his accent is so scary. Like it's so it makes me so, hey man, you know what I'm saying? I can't do a Cali accent, I'm saying. But I don't know, man. I'm a little nervous, man. Like, Tiffie, can you see it? Do
the accent. Do the accent.
I don't know what accent you're talking about. That's really like weird that you even think that.
I hope Tiffie could let us know if that's a real Cali accent. But yeah, man, I don't know, man. And also, is this real? And this is the last thing I'm gonna say about this topic. Is this relationship real? Because I mean, it just seems to come out of nowhere. What's up, Frantz? I see you.
When they not photoshopped, we'll know. Where's the real footage?
Look. Here's the thing. I don't have a doubt that they have met, that they talked, that even they're in some sort of friendship or whatnot. But the whole pushing of it out to the public just seems a little convenient. Bad Ty, what you think?
Words.
I was just gonna say, if ever there is a time for a white woman to attack a black man, it's when you find out he's talking to Megan Good. I'm just gonna say, look. I'm not saying what happened in the car. I'm just saying, if there was a reason, this would be a good damn reason.
This is Jonathan Major's new PR team right here, y'all. I just wanted to announce that.
I mean, if I'm in her shoes and I find out it's already bad enough, I find out you talking to somebody, but then I find out it's Megan Good. Oh, I gotta attack you. I got a 2-piece biscuit. You gotta catch the upper, all the hooks, all of that. You gotta get it. You gotta get it.
Go ahead, Omar.
Does it remind you, because like the way it's coming out of nowhere, right? And Frantz is like, oh, we don't, we'll know when we see the picture. It's not photoshopped. You know what it reminds me of? Cory Booker and Rosario Dawson.
Oh my God!
Oh, it's still going wrong. That's still
I never saw them at the same time.
You know that wasn't real.
That
wasn't real.
We needed a new president. I'm like, yeah, that came, and it was a thing said, then just left into the ether after. But also, even if he's
and it's weird. I'm like, that works.
Yeah, I don't know if Corey was ready for the Padawan to come on out. You know what I'm saying?
He wasn't ready for presidency, so.
I don't know. I just think that this whole thing, it reeks of of good PR. And I want to shout out Olivia Pope for jumping in and getting this all straightened out. But I just don't know if it's gonna work, if it's gonna be enough. My opinion is, and then we move on, is that Kang, or excuse me, Jonathan Majors, I don't even call him Jonathan. I think he's gonna eventually be able to act again, but I think that he may lose his star power and find himself having to kind of Robert Downey Jr. himself back up to the top a little bit. You know what I'm saying? After he goes through this whole thing, I'm not supporting it. I'm in the arena with Tyrone, where it's like, listen, I'm more inclined to believe the woman. In this instance, I just think it's sad that it happened so quickly, because he was really at a meteor. He was at a point, at a pinnacle. You know what I'm saying? Like that point in the graph where he starts going like this with Creed, with all of these things happening at once. I mean, right in the timing too, with T'Challa being gone now, you know what I'm saying? And somebody coming in and filling that void, because there was talks about him playing Dennis Rodman and playing a couple other folks. And so for him to not have to face all of this, I just think is really sad, man. So I hope that he comes out okay. But if he did do something, I hope he also gets what he deserves.
The man needs help. The man he's a therapist.
Yeah, I mean, he needs more than that. I mean,
stop fucking with them white women. Jesus Christ, they won't.
that has caused problems. That has caused some problems, but it could happen either way. Either way.
Every now and again, it causes some nice stuff like me.
And we love Tyrone.
Every now and again, it's not always the worst thing in the world. I'm in the room, is what I'm saying. I'm right.
Tyrone's here. And he's the product of good luck.
He was a Shonda Rhimes plot right there.
This is the Bridgerton episode. Go through this. But either way, man, Marvel, hopefully they can pick them head up. And we obviously have more projects on the way. We just learned that Echo and Loki are going to be coming up this year. And I'm kind of interested to see how they twist that with Loki, because, I mean, they've already filmed it. So Kang's already in it. He's in the trailers. So hopefully that still works out. Echo.
I wonder why they're dropping all the episodes of Echo at once instead of doing it weekly like everything else.
That is interesting, right? What do you think that's about, Nolly? Why do you think they're dropping them all at once?
Probably because lots of delays and stuff, and they're trying to catch up because they have their phases planned out. So if they keep pushing and pushing, it's gonna probably push into something else. So they were like, "Oh, we'll just drop it all at once. Who's gonna watch this? Me, bitch, me."
We watching because we know why. I know one person who's
a woman of color, and she deaf. We representing everywhere, okay?
Well, and an amputee.
Yep. And an amputee. But not only that, we know that this character arc is going to lead right into somebody on this panel's favorite character. You know what I'm saying? One of them, at least one of the two blind white men that he likes to support.
He's black adjacent, okay?
As an affinity for white men with bad eyesight.
Damn right.
Daredevil doesn't see color, okay?
They can't see shit, so they can't be racist.
Literally.
That's the only thing that's right. Give me the blind ones. I don't see color. Literally, I don't see shit.
I see it red. So I know Omar. I know you definitely gonna be checking this out because this is Kingpin centric, bro. You're gonna get I dare I say we will get some Matt Murdock in this, homeboy. You pulling up?
Oh yeah. I don't know how much Matt Murdock will get, but I'm definitely for it. Also, it'll be nice to see. It'd be nice. I mean, how are you going to build Echo? We already saw what she was like when she was younger, the bit of the origin. So like, but where do we go from here? Is it going to be like her finding herself, or her meeting her meeting Charlie Cox, her meeting Matt Murdock? Like, where do we go from here? But actually, I mean, because technically Echo was Ronin. Echo was the first Ronin. So I'm like, will she pick up that mantle and then get busy in Japan like she did in the comics? Like, where? I'm interested to see where it's going. That's so I'm all for it.
Ooh, you did bring up that she was the first.
She's the first Ronin. Hawkeye takes the mantle after her.
But they're trying to make Kate Bishop into Ronin too.
I did not know that.
I mean, if you watch the show, I can't speak for the comics, but on the show, it seemed like they was trying to push her into that role. I don't know.
Maybe they were trying to push her into the role of Hawkeye.
Hawkeye.
Was it Hawkeye? Okay. I remember she had the outfit.
Ronin, because she's for the Young Avengers.
Fun fact: I'll tell you who the third Ronin was to take up the mantle for a second. It was Blade.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, for a quick minute because he couldn't show his face.
Well, but damn, now you brought up some other sad shit because as a result of the writer's strike, now we actually have Blade. It sounds like Blade ain't gonna happen, bro. The redo.
It will happen.
It's gonna happen.
It'll happen.
These writers.
Wow. They need to pay these writers yes, exactly. Two, I would much rather wait for a dope ass Blade, with written well, done well, linked in well, than get some Chat GPT shit.
Period.
No.
Well, I mean, I don't know, but this. Go ahead, Ty, please.
I was just gonna say, Blade has the potential to do Black Panther numbers. Like if they do it right, that has the potential to do Black Panther numbers easy. Why? Because we already seen what the first Blade did. And if we can get any type of like a semblance of that type of storyline, not even necessarily that storyline, but if we get the right type of writing in that, man, oh my God, Mahershala is one of those hidden gems. And I call him a hidden gem because not only can he act, but he can also produce, write, direct, everything you want, all wrapped in one thing. So you got a dude who is going to put 100% into whatever they write for him. So whatever it is, that character, he's gonna put 100% in.
All he got to do is that laugh with the all he got to do is the laugh with some fangs. Go to money.
That's it.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I will say is that we always it seems to thus far served Marvel well whenever they have had to change the character. Now, I know they couldn't get Wesley Snipes again, but I mean the fact that Mahershala was Cottonmouth. Whenever they have to recycle somebody as a character, it's normally for a good reason, right? Yeah. Like, it's kind of hard to see Chris Evans as Johnny Storm anymore, you know what I'm saying? Like, even though that's how he started. But if you go back and watch, like, the original Fantastic Four, he looks like he looks like Captain before he was Captain America. He literally looked like Steve Rogers before he got the serum. Like he was like a tiny little twig, and now he literally looks like Captain America. And so all of these different roles where they actually come back with somebody who has already been used in the series or in their movies seems to have been working out for them. So I can't see how that would be anything different in this upcoming Blade. But I'm not gonna lie. I am really hoping that they don't mess it up with don't get me wrong. The writers, we need to pay the writers. Absolutely. But man, they've already had to switch directors. They've already had to stop production. They've already had this, that, the third. That's never a good sign. You know what I think of when I hear that? Waterworld.
Yeah, Kevin Costner, baby, biggest bomb. Oh, was it technically a I'm gonna do my research. Hold on.
If memory serves,
went
flip
down. It was not a good
Yeah,
look.
Waterworld was terrible, and they spent a hell of a lot of money on the budget. And
yeah, man.
It did. But I don't know that Blade is going to have that problem. Like, I don't know that Blade is going to have like, and I get it, but it also serves as one of those things is the writing and the directors being changed because they want the best version of all of this, and they didn't get it. So when you get it and they submit it, and then the studio's like, nah, you know what I mean? Like that to me is a good sign, because they could have easily said, yeah, run it, and then we're like, man, that Blade movie was trash, man. So the fact that they've had all of this time, again, Mahershala is a key ingredient to this recipe, and I think he is going to be like one of those people that, again, since he does have directing and producing and all of those that experience, if he sees something wrong with the script, you don't think he's going to be like, hey, I think it might go better if we do this or whatever. Those type of things, I think, is the things that make me more on the side of, yeah, this is going to be good. It has the potential to be epic.
Go ahead, Franz.
On the flip side of that, we had the same issue with the first Ant-Man movie, which, you know, had Edgar Wright in place to do that, and then had to shift off to Peyton Reed, although Edgar Wright had written a large part of the script already. So, and it changed the tone a little bit, but Ant-Man 1 that's high ranking for the kid. Like that's there's a possibility the integrity can still be saved.
But Ant-Man, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, actually benefits from anonymity, in my opinion. Don't get me wrong. I know comic book fans are big Scott Lang fans, and everybody just were huge. Everybody had a statue of Scott Lang in there and on their shrine in their house somewhere, well before he became an Avenger, I'm sure. But it does feel like, you know, since there wasn't a real call for Ant-Man,
you're right.
You could do whatever the fuck you wanted with it. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like they did with like Jon Favreau did with Iron Man, right? Now, don't get me wrong. Iron Man had more stature. We knew he was a leader of the Avengers. We knew that he actually had, I mean, even in the Marvel vs. Capcom video game, he was a big deal. That freaking big ass charge gun he would bring out, big deal.
Cannon.
But when they were doing that movie, nobody really had like a, you know what, they better make sure that they do the butcher. All they had to do was make sure that the costume was right, that he had his ion cannons, he had an arc reactor, he could fly, that he was an asshole, he had a goatee, he was a billionaire, and you're good. And man, you're like, I don't know this dude. Oh, okay, all right, whatever. Oh yeah, T.I., I like him. Michael Pena, oh, he's funny. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just kind of got to get through the movie or whatever, and then basically that makes it work. So you're
Nick,
right.
that sounds so easy. It's not easy. That shit's not easy at all.
I think it's honestly, if I can help with the anxiety, I think it's just the anxiety that you care more about Blade than you care about Ant-Man or even like Doctor Strange. I don't think Sam Raimi was the first choice for the second Doctor Strange movie.
No.
So this is just stuff that happens in Hollywood all the time, where directors change, producers change, writers, all that other stuff. But now, since it's Blade, a property that we care about so much, we're like, oh shit, everything that happens is like, oh no, is this gonna hurt the chances of this being good? I think we're gonna be okay.
Think so?
Yeah,
I hope so, man. I hope we are. But let's leave it to the video gods to see whether or not they can deliver a movie that's worthy of Blade, but not only that's worthy of Blade, but also that is just worthy of Marvel fans. Because right now Marvel has more competition. It ain't like when Iron Man came out, Spider-Man came out, Batman, and you would get a Marvel movie every couple years. Now you got Disney Plus. Now you got FX coming out with The Boys. You got HBO Max with the DC stuff, and you even got video game movies that are now video game shows and productions that are now coming into the forefront. I don't know. Did we all watch Last of Us? Did we watch Last of Us? Are we Last of Us fans? Okay, we watched Last of Us. Last of Us showed us that you don't have to have a piece of shit project just because it's made after a video game movie. We all watched Mario. Mario did well.
So good. It was so good.
That Mario was a good movie, bro. And I mean, there's another Pratt production. You know, some would even say Halo wasn't that bad. You know what I'm saying? Some would say Halo was good. Dare I say, some people on this panel, perhaps. They even have talks. There's even talks, Omar, and I'm glad Tiffie's here for this. That some of our favorite games may be made into some movies as well. there has been discussion of the God of War live action movie, and show. Now, I believe Tiffie is playing God of War. Are you not, Tiffie?
Yes, on my stream, which I have not seen in a very long time.
Booked and busy.
What's Tiffy so busy, yo? She's got everybody inviting her to everything, man. What would you be here for that? Do you think that the video game?
I mean, I'm currently on God of War 4, but I'm in. I feel it. I am on the Kratos of Kratos. I'm on the journey. So I'm there.
Oh man, and Tiffy's still on there. I think right now, if you're on 4, then he's like mustache and just peach fuzz down here right now, right? Like, not where is he still hairless?
Goatee.
Goatee. Okay, the goatee. Okay, he has a goatee. What were you about to say, Omar?
So my question is to get the behind the scenes. I saw like, Amazon might be doing this up. Okay, cool.
Yeah, Amazon.
The question then becomes, he was voiced by T.C. Carson from Living Single, right? Black dude. They then went to dude from the dude from Stargate, Christopher Frantz, you know his name?
Chris Judge.
Yeah.
Yes, Chris Judge, right? Yeah. Cool. 2 black dudes voiced him. His body was molded after Shad Gaspard. Shad Gaspard was a WWE wrestler, died saving his son out at sea. Shad was also black.
Yep.
My question now becomes, you had the body of dude, you had the voice for him. Are we gonna have if Kratos isn't black, if it's Dave Bautista, fine. That's my thing. But I'm like, I will be like, you know what I mean? Because like these are the ones that built this dude up for X amount of games. What's it gonna be? That's my one question there. There was a white dude that did like the action for him, but I'm like, okay, 1 out of like two things though. So it's like that is my big question. I'm like, if it's Batista, fine. But I'm just like, I'm just interested to know what the choice will be there.
Well, this brings up, this is an interesting debacle we're in right now, right, Franz? Maybe because, for the longest, Darth Vader was voiced by a black man, if I'm not mistaken. All right, and I've never seen a black Darth Vader. Even Ahsoka, who was voiced by what's that girl's name? Ashley, what's her name? Was voiced by this young lady, and everybody seems to have grown to love her. But Ahsoka's now played by Rosario Dawson. All right, are we going to hold the voice actors to the fire when it comes to them having to represent the voice they sound like or the person that they look like? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. That's tough.
Ashley Eckstein.
Ashley Eckstein. That's who it is. Ashley Eckstein. I don't know. Tyrone. I mean, Kratos is basically a demigod, right? He's not really black or white, I don't know, so to speak, depending on how you want to look at it. But you best believe when you have a character who's been voiced by not only 1, but 2 black actors, you know what I'm saying, whose body was modeled after a black body, and then you messed around and you put somebody who's not black in their position, you're probably going to have hell to pay, huh, Tyrone?
Yeah, no, I think it's a real easy situation. You cast somebody who is black or as close to it as you could possibly get, making that character right. This is a really easy one for the studios. Don't mess this up.
You think so?
The voice actor is campaigning for it too. Like he wants to play Kratos.
He looks like him.
Christopher Judge, yeah.
Yeah.
He looks like him.
But the character is Greek.
Spartan, yeah, and that's one where they don't. Black folks weren't there. They made him tan. He's tan in the video game too, but Spartans, they didn't. They're kind of not isolationists, but like they're close knit. So
rugged individuals.
The mountain says not to forget that he's covered in ash.
Right. So do a black guy and white face. Boom.
We can't white chicks this.
We're gonna have to.
You're putting us in a box, Nolly. I don't like it.
Which is to say, this is about production planning. If you start a character and the character is Greek, and you're now looking at Greek voice work, you're looking at Greek, then you already set up for this kind of thing to happen. Where now it's ambiguous and nobody knows what to do. There is no right move for them. Now they just gotta get the most accurate fit for the character, but still everybody's gonna be like, Huh? You can't make
unless you cast Vin Diesel, and then you're good because nobody really knows what Vin is, and he looks like any kind of famous. Look, it's all about family, Omar.
He killed his
It's about family here, man.
All right, so first of all, here's where they get away with this. First of all, I'm not co-signing the Vin Diesel thing.
Vin Diesel would kill this. He killed.
Nah, bro.
He
Vin
killed
Diesel's like 65, bro.
He killed it, yo, man. Look, man.
Nah, bro. He can be Groot.
I can't imagine him doing some fight choreography like that.
You couldn't imagine him doing that. He
can play him in the video game, but not on screen, homeboy. Like I don't want to see Vin Diesel in his current state playing this dude, bro.
Yeah,
I just
you
don't
want
want
to see Harrison Ford
He
on
moves
screen
just
playing
that.
a Hulk.
I would like that.
I would like to see, and 176-year-old, Harrison
wait,
Ford
he will be.
playing Red Hulk. Yeah.
It's CGI. He's not actually Hulk. You're not going to see like.
Someone said that he's shirtless in Indiana Jones, and I was like, at 80.
Yeah, the Indiana Jones thing I don't understand, but that's going to be mostly CGI too. But I just don't. Here's the other thing. What about Atreus? What about quote unquote Loki? Like he is not like unlike the ash-covered Kratos. All right, Atreus is just a little boy. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing melanated about little Atreus. I'm just saying. All right, Franz.
Yes,
I don't know, bro.
But the voice actor Sonny Sufjan already stepped up. Actually, all three voice actors for Freya, for Atreus, and for Kratos have already said if we're not in it, it's a problem. And that little kid does have the affect of an Atreus, and he's of a ambiguous looking skin tone. Although his last name lets you know he's like Eastern Bloc European.
Ethically ambiguous.
Yeah, well,
it can be done. It can be done.
Well, we'll have to see, man. If they can bring this to life in a way that's respectful, that'd be great. I wouldn't be mad at it. I honestly think that there will be some small backlash from the black community, so to speak, if he doesn't actually get casted as a black man. What's up?
The bigger backlash is going to be the fact that Horizon Zero Dawn is also attached to that, and that's a white girl with dreads. What are we doing? What are we doing?
And native bound gear too. Like that is.
Okay.
She's a redhead. It's okay.
They're gonna be there, and they're gonna be like, "We was Vikings." Don't.
They could make that happen.
That's their. We was Kangs. It's we was Vikings.
We
Maybe
was
not all of you.
We was kings.
Their hair did not look like that. Okay, crack open a fucking book. Please, Jesus Christ.
The Saxons and the Danes, you didn't know? We was Vikings. Well, we'll have to see, man. I don't know.
The Irish were slaves, Jesus.
I'm a little less. I mean, it's so funny. It's funny how we don't never really see a lot of backlash when it comes to, and no disrespect, Nolly. We love you, Poppy. We love you, everybody. But we don't see a lot of backlash when it comes to like Latin race swapping. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't see a lot of people up in arms because their beloved Joel is now played by Pedro Pascal. You know what I'm saying? Or we don't see a lot of people up in arms when folks get, and that's not a bad thing, but I just it's just kind of just goes to show that it's a black thing.
But Pedro Pascal
there's some nuance there.
There's some nuance. I mean, because Latin people are also
we are colorist as fuck.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's also different sides of the spectrum. You ever go to fill out an application that says, "Are you black, Hispanic, or white Hispanic?" You know what I'm saying? Like you could still be both.
I hate when they mark white for me. But don't do that to me.
All right, well, go ahead, please.
No. I definitely see things all the time, but I think that's because of what I engage with on social media. There's always dark-skinned Latinos that have huge problems with casting and things like that. Like Zoe Saldana, as much as you love her, getting cast into like historically accurate dark-skinned roles, and they have her in it, and it's like, but
or even John Leguizamo being super hyped about Blue Beetle, Jamie Reyes, and then being like the first, and everybody's like Miles Doe.
Miles existed.
That's a Morales.
Yes. All of that.
And that's coming out in a couple of weeks too. Yeah, man. So that's a whole thing, man. Hopefully they get this right, and hopefully we'll be able to celebrate it. I
we
want to
have
add
a lot of games coming to screen, by the way. Like, it's not just God of War and Horizon Zero Dawn. Fallout has started filming. BioShock starts filming next year.
Ooh.
Gears of War will start pre-production next year. What else? There's a lot of shit coming out, so like we have a lot of shit to talk about.
Oh man, and we just can't wait for that Resident Evil season 2. Nobody's on the Resident Evil train.
But can we talk? I went on a rant on Twitter about this the other day. They had so many chances to do. Resident Evil story never needed to be changed. Okay,
really
that story is perfection. It gets a little fucking crazy the last couple of games, but I'm not gonna complain. Okay, I've been here from the beginning. We here for the long fucking run. Okay,
right.
But the story never needed to be changed ever. Who the fuck is Alice? Who the fuck is Alice?
Who the fuck is Alice? I'm here for Claire, for Jill, for Ada. That's it.
Damn, Ada. Ada. Can we get a real Ada?
I'm saying I just watched the Raccoon City one that just came out during the pandemic. And I was like, okay, I see what you did. The police station, you modeled it well. They played puzzles. Did not expect that in the movie. The story was shit. Okay, it was shit.
Yes.
They were not raised in an orphanage with Birkin. Like, things didn't need to be changed. It's not so hard. Look at Last of Us. Last of Us barely changed much.
Yeah.
And it was so fucking good. Resident Evil has a great story. It did not need to be changed. And I will sit through another fucking remake if you do it right.
I will.
Do 02. I want to see Code Veronica on screen. That shit would be. That's the best one. It's the best one. It's my favorite.
Leon.
The best one.
It's my favorite. Code Veronica is my favorite, hands down.
What's up, Ty?
Well, one of the things that I've also noticed that they've kind of lacked too is good acting. Like they cast that whole last Resident Evil movie with that, like those all were like C&D actors. I was like, like, come on, no stars. You don't get 1 star for the movie, not one.
Right. Boy, and I know Leon's a rookie, but he was not bitch made like that.
No.
What was that? My man was bitch made. Didn't even know how to shoot. Stop it.
Well, I mean, look, the most exciting part about Resident Evil is the viruses and how they're able to keep developing them, and they make these big monsters out of people. And I think if they can keep that, they'd be good. I did like the village. I like the village's story. I don't want to spoil it. But yeah, they definitely go different angles with some of the characters. But yeah, man, I think that is a franchise that has been muddled. Kind of like I don't understand why Tomb Raider doesn't do it. I mean, I thought Tomb Raider is set up to win. Uncharted didn't suck, wasn't great, didn't suck though. So who knows? Maybe there's what's up, Frantz?
I was insulted by Uncharted. That is insulted my intelligence. That's the first movie I came back to really watch to the movie theaters, and I was like, wait, what?
Did you play the game?
Hell no. Nathan Drake is trash. That human being is trash.
The best Uncharted one is with Chloe and Nadine Fraser, and that's Uncharted Lost Legacy, where it's 2 women leading it. That is the coldest one.
Oh wow, okay.
The coldest one.
So y'all don't fuck with Drake.
I watched Omar's wife Tosh play that game because that's the only way I was gonna get through it. Hell no.
Man, hey, listen, guys, there's a whole lot to talk about. We're running a little low on time for this first little segment. I did want to ask Omar real quick, man, because we only had like literally 2 minutes left about what happened with the first date for our homegirl Storm, who now just got off of her new mutant dating app and is now finally dating human beings. You know what I'm saying? Like, how did that turn out for us, homeboy? If you could just give us the rundown. After, we did see Mr. Craig Marshall kind of slide in the DMs of one Aurora Monroe. How did it go, bro?
All right, so to get that backstory, what we need to know is that mutants, the black and black-coated mutants of Arakko, there were Apocalypse's people. They now have Mars. Mars is now known as Arakko, right? Storm is the queen regent of Mars. It was attacked by an Eternal named Uranos. Uranos is the grandfather of Thanos, and he was genociding all over the place. Enter Craig, you call him Craig Marshall. On Araco, they know him as Craig of NASA. He was there defending these 2 children. And he's like, all right, I'm about to run in here and get myself killed, so y'all got time to retreat and whatnot. Storm saw that. Storm and her council members that represent Araco, they're like, no need for that today. As of this day, Craig of NASA, Craig Marshall, you are of Araco. It means you are of this broken land. Now, T'Challa had done fucked up some shit, and her and Storm no longer together. Storm apparently got a date set together with Craig of NASA, and they're sitting down together, and this man has mad PhDs. He's been on the cover of Now magazine, and they're talking, and my man was not gun shy. My man was flirting with her very subtly, and this is the first time we've seen, this is like one of the first times we see Storm after fighting an Eternal with Magneto, after Magneto dying in her fucking arms, after having to be up at arms and fighting her ass off. We now get to see her in a soft moment of her having just a regular date night with Craig of NASA, and we see her in her mind what it looks like when Storm gets flustered, when she's flirting back, and she flirts back. So I've always been one to try make good relations between humans and mutants, and she's like, God damn, Nightcrawler would have been proud of that, but I'm blushing right now. And they're eating and shit, and it's a nice soft moment between them two. It's written by Al Ewing. It was drawn by what's his name? It was drawn by Jacopo Camagni. And it's just a beautiful, soft moment that we get to see Storm have that we don't really get to see a lot of Black women have in comics, especially dark-skinned Black women have in comic books. Because also Storm's been written, as Al Ewing said, everybody's writing her as this big gun. Al Ewing's writing her like, I'm humanizing her. Like, we're giving these vulnerable moments that you don't get to see. What also takes place is Charles Xavier calls her in. He summons her. He's like, yo, drop whatever you're doing. I need you to come see me right now. And she's like, oh. Okay, and as she's going there, she's like, he's talking to me like I'm that little girl again, like when we first met, as if I'm not fucking me. And he says to her, oh, I hope I haven't interrupted anything that you're doing. And
speaking of interrupting, unfortunately, I will have to interrupt Omar this particular time as we are out of time. But thank you all. Don't go nowhere because we might talk a little bit more. But for right now, go ahead and say what's up to Tiffie Star Child Frantz. We also have Omar. And of course, the usual. I don't even have enough time for us to put on the episode. Just go ahead and make sure y'all see it again. Oh, shoot. I'm going to